Throughout my career as a kidney nurse, I taught many classes for people living with chronic kidney disease. And during one of those classes, I was explaining the stages of chronic kidney disease, including what happens when someone reaches stage 5, also called end-stage renal disease, or ESRD, once a person starts dialysis. As I explained this, I talked about the treatment options that still exist, including the different dialysis types and kidney transplant. While I was speaking, one of the patients in the room began to cry, and then after a bit, he started to smile. He told me that when his nephrologist had said he was nearing end-stage kidney disease and that he would need closer monitoring of his labs, he thought that meant that there were no options left if his kidney function got worse. He had focused on the words end stage, and to him, that sounded like the end of the road. And honestly, many providers do explain stages and options very well, but sometimes when people hear words that sound frightening, that may be the only part they remember in that moment. When he realized that there were options, he felt immediate relief, and that's why he was crying and then started to smile. But anyway, he understood that even if his kidney function declined, he could still live a good life, and that gave him hope. He decided that he wanted to work with his nephrologist to try to slow down the progression of his kidney disease while also preparing for dialysis and understanding the different types just in case. We also talked about how when kidney function gets close to an eGFR of around 20, patients can ask to be referred for a kidney transplant evaluation. And in some cases, that can mean receiving a transplant before ever needing dialysis, especially if there's a living kidney donor available. Even if there's not, getting on the transplant list earlier can sometimes be very helpful, and if a person needs to start dialysis, they can possibly get off dialysis sooner and get that kidney transplant. But they have to be a good candidate, and that would be something to discuss with the kidney doctor. Of course, not everyone qualifies for a kidney transplant, depending on their overall health and other medical conditions. But simply understanding that these options exist can completely change how someone sees their future, and sometimes that understanding can replace fear with hope. I'll be talking more in depth about treatment options and kidney transplant in future videos. Bye for now.